You know, I had to ask the question, was the Eternals really that bad? Look, I know what you're thinking. The Eternals didn't make sense. Why didn't they help the Avengers or any other down bad situation they had on Earth?
Open your eyes, Patrick!
Look, I get it. That makes total sense. But let's try to look at this from a self contained story instead of a broader MCU property. Spoilers ahead if I didn't mention that already. It should be clear, but anyways, let's dance. In like 5000 BC, the Eternals were sent down to Earth to protect the humans from deviants. These were monster like creatures with tentacles, weird mouths, and some kind of absorption power. Or at least the underdeveloped side antagonistic guy Crow does. And it is told they cannot go back home and must stay with the humans until further notice, ending the deviants and having peace for a time, being looked at as gods by the humans, modeling our modern day gods after them. Now, in the actual modern of days, it seems the deviants have returned with no warning and a surprise to the Eternals, who lived in peace but spread apart due to their newfound freedom. In order to defeat the seemingly more powerful deviants, the Eternals must band back together, stronger to save the human race once again. But in a twist of events, it is Arishem, a powerful celestial and the creator of the Eternals. Arishem had sent them there essentially to drain and destroy the earth with the birth of a new celestial who will create billions and billions more lives. So it becomes this trolley problem plot point. And Icarus, arguably the strongest of the group, portrays his family in an effort to make sure the earth is ready for the birth of the celestial, which all the Eternals aren't necessarily on board with. That ultimately leads to the conflict, that trolley problem that I was talking about earlier. In my personal opinion, I think even the premise is good when just focusing on the Eternal story. Not all these other side stories or side character stories or main character side stories or big MCU plot points that they're trying to pick out. I think the issue with the Eternals had or has is the same issue that's going on right now, but not as bad. The issue is the direction of the grander story behind the films, such as Thanos. Let me explain. After the Avengers Endgame, the expectations were so high for where the MCU could go next that it shattered before it could even get started. The Marvel movies nowadays are so fixed on trying to fit a cohesive story together in the background that they cannot focus on the current narratives that they're trying to pull together. If you look at these movies from a different perspective, such as a self-contained story, I think you'd like them much more. The Eternals was one of the last MCU movies that I did actually enjoy, excluding the Guardians and Spider-Man. The visuals were great and I liked the story. I saw it twice in theaters, but comparing it to something like The Marvels or Thor Love and Thunder is just wrong in my eyes. TLNT butchers and regresses a character in its own universe / movie for no reason besides for comedic relief. In the Eternals, rules work for within its world, but trying to connect it to the grander MCU is a mistake where everything completely falls apart. I don't even think it's necessary. It's clear that it wouldn't have worked from the start. Knowing everything that happened between installments, there best be a super good reason for not helping. But on the other hand, I'm not gonna lie, I've never picked up an Eternals comic, so I'm not sure how accurate the story beats are, or even the characters and their personalities, but it doesn't seem like that's the main problem anyways. After all the garbage we've been getting lately, fans will be getting fatigued and people will look back at this as if it wasn't that bad. And I will say it was never that bad to begin with. I'm out.